Here are 8 books that you need to read this fall. Also, I have my fall sweatshirt, my fall blanket, and my Diet Coke in my fall pumpkin cup. So it's fall now. I don't care. August is fall to me in here. Also, little disclaimer, some of these books I have read, and then some of them are also going to be on my fall TBR this year, so we can read them together. So first on this list, I obviously could not leave this off, a fall TBR, is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have read this, but I'm going to be rereading it this year, and all you really need to know is dark academia, friend group going to an elite arts college, one of them gets... and this is the story of them trying to piece together what happened. And then in that same vein, we have If We Were Villains by Emil Rio. A lot of people like to describe this book as The Secret History, but just in a different font. And I don't even necessarily disagree with that description, but I really enjoyed both of these books, and I think that they are both worth the read. And now for my romance rec, because obviously we have The Ex-Hex and The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling, and I actually read these last year during October. They're like your essential October reads. They are 2 really cute little romances set in Graves Glen, which is basically like Halloween Town in this series, and they're just so fun. They're quick reads. I'm going to be rereading them this October, and if you haven't gotten to these, definitely read these around Halloween. It's like just such a fun way to really get into the Halloween vibes. The next book on this list is probably the book that I'm most excited to read this fall. It just came out, and it's Masters of Death by Olivia Blake, and the premise of this book just sounds so entertaining. So basically, our main character is a vampire real estate agent, and the house that they are trying to sell is haunted by this ghost that was murdered, and the ghost won't stop haunting the house until the real estate agent solves its murder. Like, that just sounds so like funny and entertaining, and from the reviews I've seen of this book so far, they are all very positive, so I'm really excited for this. Also on this list, we have Babel by R.F. Kuang, and Babel follows the story of a young Chinese boy who moves to London to be part of this prestigious translation program at this very elite school, and he loves it for a while, but after spending some time in the program, he starts to realize that it is not what he thought it was going to be, and is in fact very unethical, and then he kind of has to make some decisions about what that means for him and what he's going to do about it. This book is definitely one of my 6-star reads. I loved it. After you finish this book, you will feel like your IQ has gone up like 30 points, and this is your homework, okay? If you're watching this video, save it. This is your homework. Next we have the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, and I actually read the first book in this series, Caraval, when it came out like 5 years ago, and all I really remember is like a dark, magical carnival vibe going on, but I've heard that you have to read this trilogy before getting to Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is like her other series. I guess it's like a spin-off series. I don't know. Someone can tell me. But yeah, I'm going to be picking these back up in the fall for sure. Then we have Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This is actually a YA book, but it's another dark academia. So from what I understand, obviously I haven't read it yet, but from what I understand is our main character enters into this like magical secret society at her school, and she is trying to avenge her mother's death and like figure out what really happened to her. And I think that maybe it's also a retelling of like King Arthur. And I'm so excited to read this. I've seen like everyone give it 5 stars, so I'm really hoping that I love this book. The last book we have on this list is Wayward by Amelia Hart. I haven't read this book yet, but from what I understand, it follows the story of 3 different generations of women in the same family. So one of them is like modern day 2019, another one is 1619, and then the third one is like World War II, 1942. And personally, I just love stories like about family, especially women and family. So I don't know, I just feel like this is gonna eat, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited to read it. So those are the 8 books that I think you guys should add to your fall TBR. And also, I just added my little Swifty Reader and iHeart Rezan stickers to my Etsy, so link in bio if you want a twin. We can all have them on our Kindles. And yeah, talk soon.